In Part 2, we looked at how the OODA loop matches up with the data, information, knowledge, wisdom model and noted that in a time-competitive situation like soccer, an advantage there can be multiplied over the course of a game. Now we'll look at two key factors in collecting data: attention and gaze control. Attention often becomes a focus when things go wrong. This involves crimes of commission, players doing something they shouldn't have done, or crimes of omission, not doing something they should have done. It's easy to place the blame on lack of concentration, but what were they supposed to concentrate on and how were they supposed to find it? Here we deal with the latter problem. Focused attention is when you zero in on something, like a laser. It brings in detail at the expense of overview. We can compensate for the loss by dividing attention between targets, like a searchlight. But which targets and how long poses a new set of problems. Covert attention indicates increased expertise. It's a more refined use of visual sensitivity. Internal attention draws a player's focus inward. For Boyd, this is the form of attention you want your opponent to have and you to avoid. During a game, external attention has to be maintained. In an environment approaching chaos, a player needs to shift between numbers 1 through 4 in order to match the data flow before them. Without a rapid transition, players can become overwhelmed and enter brain lock. A quick way to know what someone's paying attention to is to follow their gaze. We'll bring back the mother and daughter from Part 1 to explore this. The mother's gaze and attention is fixed on something across the street. The girl's focus is clearly forward. When mom changes direction, the girl becomes disoriented and shifts her gaze to reorient to the new situation. Her target for attention changed and she adjusted. After a brief conference, the two reorient, fix their gaze and attention, and move on. Before they cross, they divide their attention by switching their gaze, reorienting again to the new environment. We use attention to select data for information. We have to actively search for what's really important and ignore the unessential. All the while we're competing with an active opponent who has the same goal. The search requires an appropriate level of concentration and involves different procedures. This takes time. While it's only milliseconds, it's one of the factors that we can influence to speed up the decision cycle.